Hi friends, today in science we are going to talk about another one of God's amazing creatures, the owl. So I want you to make sure that you have your science book, and I want you to turn to page 74 in your science book. Looks like this, has a picture of an owl, and we are going to read along together. So as I read, you can either follow along quietly or you can read out loud with me as I read. We are going to start at the very top of page 74 where it says Owl Observations. There are many kinds of owls. One of the first things we notice about owls are their eyes. An owl's eyes take up more room in his head than his brain does. God planned for the owl to see things both far away and close. God gave the owl extra eyelids. He uses them to protect his eyes when he is flying. They are his safety glasses. That is pretty neat. I didn't know that. So, God gave owls two sets of eyelids. One, so that it could close its eyes completely when it goes to sleep, and the other is kind of like if we wear goggles when we go swimming. They're clear so that the owl can still see where it's going when it's flying, but they protect its eyes so that nothing gets in there and hurts their eyes. That's pretty cool. So let's look at page 75. Most birds have eyes on the sides of their heads, but owls have them in front. This helps them to quickly spot and catch small animals that move very fast. Now, when we started reading, we talked about how there were many different kinds of owls. And you can see just on page 74 and 75, we see many different types. Their eyes are different, their color is different, and even the shape of their head is different. So not all owls look the same. Let's turn our books to page 76. I can move my eyes, but an owl cannot. So when Mr. Owl wants to see something coming, he turns his head without turning his body. He can turn his head much farther than I can turn mine. So look at the picture that's in the blue box at the top of page 76. You see the owl's body is facing one way and his head is facing the complete opposite direction. I want you to try that to see how far you can turn your head in the opposite direction of your body. The owl can turn it all the way around. The owl's feathers are very strong. The edges of the feathers are short and soft. Because of this, when Mr. Owl flies, his wings will not make a sound. He can sneak up on things he likes to eat without making a sound. He likes to eat mice, rats, rabbits, and sometimes bugs. So look at the picture at the bottom of page 76 in the orange box. You see the owl, and it's getting ready to pick up that mouse that's there on the tree, and the mouse doesn't even seem like it feels or senses that the owl is coming. He's not even looking in that direction. And we know now that that's because the owl's wings and owl's feathers are designed in such a way that it can fly very quietly. Now it says that he likes to eat mice, rabbits, rats, and sometimes even bugs. That means that owls are what we call carnivores. That means that they like to eat meat. Animals that like to eat plants only are called herbivores. And animals that eat plants and meat are called omnivores. But owls are carnivores. Let's look at page 77. The owl's feet are special too. They are called talons. They are very sharp. He kills his dinner with them. Then he grabs his dinner with his talons and carries it back to his nest. Now you can see just how sharp they are in the picture at the bottom of page 76. If you look really closely, you can see the sharp, they look like nails, but they're called talons at the end of his feet. Now at the bottom of page 77, we have an activity called What is Wrong? Look at the picture of the owl on page 77. Something about it doesn't look quite right. If you take a close look, you'll figure out what that is. So the questions that they want you to know once you figure out what's wrong with the owl, number 1 said, could the owl live this way? Why not? Okay, there's something wrong with that picture, and the owl in that picture could not be a real owl. Why? Why couldn't the owl in this picture really exist? And then number 2, what special things did God give to the owl to help him live? So with your pencil, you're going to answer question 1 and question 2 in your science book. And then I have a video about owls for you to watch.